Okay, we're holding over here. After explaining what Yiras Shamayim is, he said, what's Yiras Shamayim determined by? The more a person recognizes his connection to how he came about, the greater your level of Yiras Shamayim is. You speak with the cause and effect. If you believe you're independent of anything, then you have no Yiras Shamayim. But the more you're able to internalize the fact that every aspect of your life is due to a cause willing that and endowing you, that causes Yiras Shamayim. So, okay, so now the Gemara asks the question, is it such a small thing, Yiras Shamayim? He says, for Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't such a great accomplishment. So the difficulty is, for Moshe may not be a great accomplishment, but what Moshe Rabbeinu is speaking to Klal Yisrael, Ma'ashem Elokeinu show me. What does Hashem, what is he asking him? Sure, if he asks a billionaire for $1,000, not a big deal. But if a person has $1,000, he asks him for $1,000. He asks him for everything he has. So how could you compare Moshe Rabbeinu to what? To the Klal Yisrael? So Umatoris like Moshe Milsus Drossi, second column, the last about 15 lines. Ratzlomar, Kim Lo Hoya El Moshe Hayira, also a Kasha. V'chi Eitzel Moshe Yira Milsus Drossi. Try to figure it. Ratzal Kim Lo Hoya El Moshe Hayira, also a Kasha. Yeah, if Moshe Rabbeinu wouldn't have been a Yiras Shamayim, he wouldn't. So you'd say, so who's the model? What's the example of Yiras Shamayim? V'cheitzel Moshe Yira Bilsis Drossi, because what would people say? Aval Hoyel Moshe Hayiro v'kach v'kach l'chol brio shiyeh lo hayiro shrei lo bora kodesh baruch hu lo merak shu yireim lefonov. V'imkein el ein bal hayiro yesh lo dover tosefes yosem miklal. Second. When Hashem created the world, and He demands, and we say the world was created that a person should have that level of recognition, who the master is. That means it's not something additional. It's like every human being breathes air. Every human being, he has a certain function. This person who breathes is exceptional. Every human being, being a human being is breathing and functioning as a human being. If the world was created to be Yiras Shamayim, that means every human being has relevance to be Yiras Shamayim. It's not something additional. You know, a person has a 300 IQ, that's exceptional. Doesn't exist. Right? Well, but everybody has an IQ. Everybody has a certain IQ. The average person has an average intelligence. More or less, but everybody has it. But everybody has relevance. We're not saying you should be at the level of Moshe Rabbeinu to be Yiras Shamayim. What is Hashem asking of you? Meaning, if Moshe Rabbeinu is a Yiras Shamayim, it could be at an exceptional level. That means every person has relevance to be Yiras Shamayim. That's what it says. No. For Moshe it was Miltus Utrosi. But what is Hashem asking you? If the world was created that every human being should be Yiras Shamayim, that means it's within the capacity. So why did Moshe Rabbeinu use the term more? Because for Moshe Rabbeinu, it wasn't a great accomplishment. But what relevance does it have to us? If you only recognize that it didn't happen by itself, then you automatically, naturally, be Yiras Shamayim. It's not saying you should be Yiras Shamayim as Moshe Rabbeinu. He says, what is God asking from you? He's asking for something which is demanded of every human being. What is he asking of you? It has relevance. It doesn't mean to say you should be at Moshe's level of Yiras Shamayim. V'imkein ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu ein bal hayira yesh lo dover tosefes yoseh klal shem hoya dover tosefes. If it would be something which would be out of the ordinary, hayishach lo mechiyira bilsat jusosi shere yesh lo dover tosefes aval ein hayira tosefes. Yira is not something which is in addition. Yira is like every Jew has to put on tefillin, and every Jew has to say Shema twice a day. Yiras Shamayim is no different than that. It's not something out of the ordinary. A chosid is out of the ordinary. A chosid, Yiras Shamayim is not being a chosid. Yiras Shamayim is baseline responsibility, obligation as a Jew. She'eino kamo hachochma shekora tosefes chochma. Umitzad ze omra kosu mo'ashem el shoel mi'imo kim li'iro. Rak mishu chose yira hu chose davagodl. Hear this. A person who doesn't have yira, it's not, you're not out of the ordinary. You're deficient. If baseline is yira shamayim, so if you don't have yira shamayim, then you're less than the average. That's minimally what God expects. He expects from every Jew to recognize that things didn't come about by themselves. And I just said something. Motzei Shabbos, when I heard what happened in France, Paris over here. He said, a person who has emunah bitochen, as what we hear is, as we're taken aback, all this is okay, but we can put it in perspective. Nothing is random. That it happened, it could happen, it's only because HaKadosh Baruch Hu allowed it to happen, and whoever was the victim, he was the victim because Hashem wanted those people to be the victim. There's a perspective. If it happens, chas v'sholom, too close to home, it's painful. Even far away, it's painful to hear about it. This level of inhumanity, this level of barbarism, no question. But let's say you believe in nothing, and this goes on. That means there's no rhyme or reason. How do you survive it? You can't even put it in perspective to give it value. If you're a person that has emunah bitochen, it has value. Hashem's dainu emes. It has value. Why? We don't understand what the value is. We don't understand the value. But it has value. But if you don't believe in Hashem, you don't have emunah bitochen, so what's the value? What do? All you have to do is what? You dig a hole and you bury yourself. Or you flee to some cave and you just close the cave. You detach yourself from existence. It's the same thing. Baseline, you have to have Yerushalayim. Things don't happen by themselves. There's a cause and effect. And Hashem created the world that every Jew has an obligation to understand that he's not independent of the one who brought him into existence. It's an ongoing willing, and every aspect of your life is willed by that being, by Hashem. That's it. And that's Yerushalayim. That's the cause and effect, and always understanding that you're always connected to that cause, and that's why you are what you are. Therefore, it's not Tosefes. If you don't have Yerushalayim, you're a deficient Jew. It's like a Jew doesn't put on tefillin, he's considered deficient, doesn't say Shema is deficient, doesn't keep Shabbos, he's deficient. Well, that's a great accomplishment. No, that's bottom line Judaism.
Yerushalayim is free, the only thing that's free will.
Well, Yerushalayim means Shabbos, tefillin also, because that connects to Yerushalayim. That's all. That has the one spirituality. Well, if they don't have Yerushalayim, they do what they want. At best, they'll only keep Shev Mitzvahs Mei Noach because they want to behave as a human being, right? Not to be subhuman. Otherwise, you murder and you violate all the laws of sexual relations. Everything. You have to believe in something, unless it's purely ethical, moral. It could be that. That's not Yerushalayim. There's nothing Yerushalayim. Unless a person does it because he's a devout, whatever he may be, and it's part of the religion that they have to keep it.
Oh, but it seems like a Jew always has two signs, right? During the week, we have our bris,
Tefillin.
we have tefillin.
Shabbos, you have Shabbos.
So where does that come from? The idea of having always have two signs.
Because that's what Hashem says you have to have. That's what Hashem. During the week we have. It's a question about Tosef. You're not permitted to wear tefillin.
It sounds like that's a prerequisite also for Yerushalayim, right? Gives you the antennas.
No, a Jew has to identify with his oaths. That's it. What do you have to circle? See, this is Rabbeinu Yonah. Rabbeinu Yonah says that all mitzvahs are paparos for Yerushalayim, meaning it's only an appetizer. When you do a mitzvah, the question is, why are you doing the mitzvah? Because God said you have to do the mitzvah. So every mitzvah we observe, is a display of a Yerushalayim. Because otherwise, why are you doing it otherwise? Of course, the way you do the mitzvah determines the quality of the Yerushalayim. You do it more lishma, you do it, whatever you do it, but even whatever it is, a person does a shlo lishma. Why are you doing shlo lishma? Because you're afraid God will punish you otherwise. Or you want God should give you the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's why. Good. But you believe God is the one who determines whether you get the pot of gold or you don't get the pot of gold. It's a certain degree of Yerushalayim.
So in Mitzrayim, do we say they had Yerushalayim?
They were of the Avodah Zarah. They were pagans. They didn't believe in God, period. Right? Only the Levium. I mean, there were others, but the vast majority were of the Avodah Zarah. They were pagans. Afterwards, they had Yerushalayim. Okay? You know, there used to be an expression, you know, mothers, grandmothers used to speak this way. You know, I'm like astonished. A hodnish came murder. Hodnish came murder. You know, he's not afraid. How could he behave this way? He's not afraid. You know, you're not afraid of God. How do you behave this way? That's the way Jews used to speak. I remember, what's his name? He was a comedian. What's it? Burns? Gracie and Allen. He was married. He married a shiksa in the 30s. She was a shiksa. It was unheard of in those days that a Jew should marry a shiksa. And he had all the Jewish, you know, all his, you know, the mannerisms of a Jew. This guy, George Burns, he's a shiksa. And remember, people used to look at it. This is like, where's this guy coming from? It's like a level of a disregard for Hashem as a Jew. It was like unacceptable, you know.
He looked like 100.
It's relevant. So he got whatever he got. When he arrived there, you know, the count is closed. No count. Dead letterbox.
Now it's so common. Now he burns.
It's more than common. That's the norm.
It's a churban. It's a churban. It's a churban.
From the Jewish standard, it's like the new norm. Because more than 50% are doing it, so the norm is
Jews have lost that sense of Jewishness. That's where it's from. They've lost that sense of Jewishness. People don't feel Jewish. Poor Jew didn't keep many things. He felt Jewish. Today, they don't even know what it means to be. They know by name they're a Jew. By birth, that's about it. Doesn't go beyond that point. It's a churban. Okay, we left off on